What's up, YouTube? What's up, Extreme Gains family? I'm Chuck. This is Extreme Gains. I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I say is or ever will be financial advice. Please do not take it as such. Today is Monday, August 29th, 2022, and this is my Amc Gme and SPY Algo exposed daily update and preparation video for tomorrow and beyond. As always, I hope y'all had a great day in the market today, and I hope you were able to take advantage of the volatility and make some extreme gains for yourselves. I'm going to go over my regulars, like always, my snake algo method for all three tickers, and some macro comparatives. So with all of that said, let's dig in. Real quick reminder before I get started, I'll be live here on the YouTube channel and on the Twitch channel Wednesday morning starting at 9 a.m. until market close, like I have been doing for over the last month now. Make sure to mark it down, set a reminder, come by, say hello, hang out with us, bullshit with us, trade with us, all that good stuff. I hope to see you all then. Moving on to my extreme gains for today from my scalp setups on the 7 tickers that I set up every single day. They provided 20 entries from trigger today, the highest ROI being 60%, clear down to the lowest at 15%, and multiples of everything in between to round out that list for today. Super happy and grateful for those. As always, the premium Discord members absolutely started the week off with a bang. Congratulations to all of you on your gains today, as well deserved. And to all of our extended family out here in YouTube land, I hope you all were able to do something similar and make some extreme gains for yourselves. Real quick as well, on your screen is AMC's 5-minute chart on your left, SPY's 5-minute chart on your right, and my micro intraday snake on both of them. You can see the projection and fulfillment of both of them today. SPY had a couple invert mirrorings here at the end of the day, but nonetheless, they both got the job done today, and I am super happy and proud of both of them today for the job that they did and what they provided. Moving on to the intra-week snakes and the macro comparatives. I'm going to try to do some side-by-side comparatives from last night's video as well, just like I did in last night's video. So hang on, we'll try to get that done on this video as well. Currently on your screen is AMC and my current intra-week snake. AMC finished the day today up 3.27%. Currently up an additional 0.84% in after hours, trading at $9.55. The current intra-week snake, the red the day prior to the previous divergence, continued to fulfill its projection candle for candle today with the initial move to the downside to the macro ascending level of support, like I talked about in last night's video, literally hit it dead on and then provided a bounce and a fulfillment of its intra-week snake to the upside as seen. Here is the side-by-side from last night's video of the intra-week snakes on AMC and the projection to the downside to the ascending level of support, followed by the bounce back up to around the 968 resistance as it has done. So you can see what the projection is from it moving forward into tomorrow and beyond if price action were to continue to fulfill it. The day of the previous divergence was in this position right here. And you can see that obviously we are mirrored and diverted away from that to the downside. I am going to leave it here for the time being in case we cross corner this and come back up here for a convergence back with it. And this would only be a quick invert mirroring of the first part of it if it were to do that. Other than that, it's very, very obvious to me that it seems price action is currently following the day prior to intra-week snake. Moving on to the macro comparative for AMC. As you are aware of, I am using the same double bottom from right next door, from right here, that I used for the previous 5 months worth of price action, the projection of it, and then the fulfillment of it. I'm using it, and I misspoke in last night's video. I said in the mirrored position. This is in the flipped position, not the mirrored position. So you can see the position of it here, and we spoke about this. Likewise, projecting an initial downside move to the macro ascending level of support, the realization of that with the bounce and the fulfillment back to the upside like the macro comparative was projecting. Here is the side-by-side from last night's video of the macro comparative. in its position, and you can see the projection of it to the downside for the hit on the macro ascending level of support, followed by the move and the bounce back to the upside as price action has fulfilled. You can see what the projection is from it moving forward into tomorrow and beyond if price action were to continue to fulfill it. Moving on to GME. GME finished the day today up 1.97%. Currently down 0.10% in after hours, trading at 31.52. The current intra-week snake is the blue snake on here that had been projecting and fulfilling for 4 weeks, and then we diverted to the downside and are potentially mirroring this upside projection in a downside manner. I will mirror that for you so you can see it. Like so. And I spoke to you about this breach level of $30.80 to the downside. We did temporarily breach that this morning. Then we caught a bounce and we are back up in between those two levels currently. So we did not confirm the continued fulfillment to the downside as it was projecting in the mirrored position at this time. And obviously, if we were to continue to fulfill it in the mirrored position, we would want to see a rejection and a move back downside to fulfill that in that mirrored position, as I have the framework in here with the red lines. The macro comparative from the previous double bottom in the mirrored position, full on mirrored position of all of it, was what was projecting the bounce off of the 30.82 if price action were to bounce off of it versus breach it for the confirmed move to the downside according to the mirrored position of the intra-week snake. We received that bounce today and a candle for candle fulfillment of the macro comparative still in its mirrored position. So you can see moving forward into tomorrow and beyond what the projection is from it if price action were to continue to fulfill it. And that is everything I have for GME. Last but not least is SPY. SPY finished the day today down 0.66%, currently up 0.05% in after hours, trading at 402.85. The current intra-week snakes that we have been looking at are as follows. The day prior to divergence is the red one. The day of divergence is the green. Here is the day prior to in its mirrored position, like we spoke about in last night's video for the downside fulfillment. And in this position, it was projecting a bounce and an upside move, or at least the beginnings of one. And that is obviously what we got with the initial move to the downside today. And we started putting in this bounce here. So obviously for continued fulfillment of it in this position, you can see what the projection would be moving forward into tomorrow and beyond. Let me see if I have a side-by-side of that right there. There's the side-by-side of that, where we fulfilled it in the mirrored position to the downside, and it was projecting a potential continuation to downside, short-term, followed by then the bounce. We got the continuation to downside, short-term, and the beginnings of a bounce. Then the day of divergence is the green one, and the position of it is still in the straight up position. And here it was. It likewise was projecting a potential for a short-term downside, but nonetheless, it was projecting an upside bounce. We have started that bounce, but we have not fulfilled it in its entirety. You can see what the projection is from it moving into tomorrow and beyond if price action were to continue to fulfill it. The side-by-side for it is right here. Here was the fulfillment going into this morning, showing some room for continuation to downside short term, followed by the bounce that we have started to get. Then the macro comparative from the 08-09 correction and crash. Here is the bird's eye view of it. in its peak on peak position. Now, we had discussed this potentially being in two different positions that were valid. The very first one was viewing this as a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder. The shoulder, the head, and the shoulder. If that were the case, peak on peak, here was the position of it, fulfilling that move to the downside on Friday, and it obviously was projecting upside today, which we have started to do, but not yet fulfilled in its entirety back to the upside. You can see what the projection would be from it if price action were to continue to fulfill it moving into tomorrow and beyond. The side-by-side for it is right here. Here was the fulfillment of it to the downside, and then the projection back to the upside. You can see where we're at in that macro comparative position currently. Then the secondary position of this was considered as if the peak was in, but it was placed in an inverted mirror way, and that we move this all over one position. We maintained the integrity previously leading up to the fulfillment. In that position, it likewise fulfilled this move to the downside on Friday. However, the difference was today it was projecting a continuation to downside before the bounce back up to the macro downside neckline of that head and shoulders before the release for a continuation to downside there. We obviously have not fulfilled it in its entirety to the downside. We did get the short term and we caught this bounce here. So we'll see if we continue. We're kind of in the middle of what I have perceived as either one of the macro comparatives right now with the movement that we got from SPY today. We did not get a follow through in either direction as it stands right now. So I do believe everything is, in my opinion, still considered valid at this moment. Here is that secondary position of it. And you can see the projection from it yesterday going into today was that continued downside. We did get a little bit of it today, so I am leaning a little bit more towards this position of it currently just because of that, but this could just as easily catch that bounce and head back upside just like the other one. So I'll obviously be playing this as a level to level thing tomorrow like I do every day. My family, my friends, that is everything I have for this video. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you very much. Make sure to smash the like button on your way out. Leave me a comment. Let me know how you all did. I will get an update and prep video out tomorrow night after market close. Like I reminded at the beginning of the video, I will be live here on Wednesday morning starting at 9 a.m. until market close. Mark that down. Don't forget about it. And I will talk to you all tomorrow night's video. Take care. Talk to you then. Later.